Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Mac Show. Today, we are going to be talking about my experience with Gears of War Reloaded and how this is going to directly affect Gears E-Day for me. This is an opinion piece and something that I was thinking about. I talked about it last night on the Magcast, and it was something that I slept on, woke up to, and kept thinking about, and I couldn't shake it from my mind. So what am I talking about exactly? Well, let me get into it. I've been playing Gears of War Reloaded with my wife. We've been co-streaming together. And I'm about 3.5 hours in, give or take, maybe 4 hours in. And to me, it was a stark reminder of what Gears of War used to be. And I could tell by the way the game is like progressing. Never mind like some of the graphics, like, I've talked about it before, some of the faces with those Xbox 360 faces. It looks like a girl that doesn't know how to use a filter on Instagram. It's all like way too smooth and whatever else. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not even talking about the fact that, like, when you play Gears of War 4 or 5, the gameplay is faster, a little bit smoother, anything like that. I'm not talking about the quality of life stuff like that. What I'm talking about here is the atmosphere of the game and how it's supposed to make you feel. And as I was playing Gears of War Reloaded, it's dark, it's scary, it's horror, it's gory, it's all those things. Terrifying. There are moments in that game where I was legitimately terrified. I was scared playing the game. It almost felt like there was areas where there was survival horror. For example, there was that area where it's in the beginning of Act 2, I believe, and it's in the dark. It's at nighttime, and you got those little flying birds overhead, and you have to stay within the light, right? And so, like, you're shooting propane tanks to get you from all these different locations or whatever. It's tense. The music was intense. You barely have any bullets as you're getting through. Like, I got to one point where I had 4 bullets left or shotgun shells in my Gnasher and nothing else. My wife only had a handful of bullets left, and we were both scared. And one of those, like, those monkey things, whatever the heck they're called, jumps out of a door, scared the crap out of me. And it felt like survival horror. And I was really scared because you're supposed to be scared. These things came out of the ground and basically took over the planet, and you're trying to fight back from them. They're not supposed to be just enemies that you shoot with no consequence. It didn't feel like when I played Gears of War 4 with all those bloody robots, and then Gears of War 5 with my Santa sleigh going through the snow and going to different checkpoints. It didn't feel the same. It didn't have that feeling. It didn't have that, like, even like that Last of Us post-apocalyptic sort of feel as you're going through like a city. And you're going through these dilapidated apartment buildings and like creepy alleyways, dimly lit, little lights like from an abandoned barber shop. And like I said, once again, scary music, dark tones. The atmosphere was just there. And I could feel it so much more impactful when I was playing Gears of War Reloaded than I did ever feel for anything for Gears of War 4 and 5. Hivebusters is an outlier. Hivebusters was an outstanding action-adventure story. I thought it was great. It was a nice... If you haven't played it yet, go back and play it, please. If you have Game Pass, it's right there. Please download it and play Hivebusters. It was a wonderful experience. And again, this is not a slight against the Coalition at all. They are very adept at what they do in terms of their developing, in terms of being able to utilize the Unreal Engine and everything else. And like I said, the quality of life gameplay elements have gotten better. However, I feel that Gears of War has lost its soul along the way, and it doesn't have that same vibe, that same feel. And I'm not talking about the juiced up, roided up guys with their big suits saying stereotypical nonsense or whatever, or cliche lines. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. It's not that. It's more than that. It felt like you're playing a horror game. And you're supposed to be playing a horror game. You're supposed to feel that. You're supposed to be scared, like I said before. Right? And I felt that last night. I felt it again. I'm like, this is what Gears of War needs to get back to. It needs to get back to that desperation, the fear, the anxiety. And like I said, it's all part and parcel with, like I said, the atmosphere, the way the environments were built out. The music was key to it all as well. And of course, the way the story progresses and the story itself. Terrifying. Like I said, it almost felt like Resident Evil just with bigger guns. And so this is where I get into E-Day. Obviously, I think that the Coalition are not stupid. They obviously have heard people's complaints about Gears of War 4 and 5, and they're looking at it and they're like, well, let's go back to the beginning here. Let's go back to E-Day. Let's go back to where it all started, bring back Marcus Phoenix, do all these different things, and all the other characters involved as well. However, they're going to have to bring back that atmosphere, that feeling again. And it was amazing that you forget, because it's been so long between the first Gears of War. And yes, I played Gears of War Ultimate, but that was almost a dozen, about 10 years ago. But it's still, after a 10-year absence and playing those other Gear games, you forgot along the way what it's like to play one of those games. And like it really feels a certain way. And then I played it last night, and my God, the impact that it had on me. I was just like, this is what it should be. This is what it should feel like. And I really, really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than any other Gears that I've played in probably about 10 years. Was last night. Again, High Busters was an outlier. It was a different story, a different little situation there. I'm talking about the mainline Gears of War games. And so I think that with E-Day coming, not only are they well aware of the fact that people want to go back to the beginning in terms of the story and the characters and everything else, but I also feel that, God willing, that they're actually going to be bringing back that atmosphere that was so dearly missed in the last few Gears installments. That's all I had to say about that. So I just wanted to get that out there and get my feelings out there. I want to know if you guys feel the same way. I talked about it, like I said, last night on Madcast. I got into it about this, and I was like, this is what Gears of War should be. And my wife said the same thing, funny enough, because she played all the Gears of Wars as well. She played 4 and 5. We played them co-op. And she said the same thing. She's like, man, this just vibes differently. And I'm like, yes, this is what we need to get back to. So this is, once again, Gears of War Reloaded coming out the way it did yesterday or 2 days ago. It is once again a stark reminder of where Gears of War needs to get back to in order to get people hooked into it again. It's no mystery that, yes, a lot of people play Gears of War 4 and 5, but it certainly did not have the same kind of level of popularity that the original Gears trilogy had. And remember, in those days, the Gears of War was on the Xbox 360, and the fan base was actually a little bit smaller. Now, with you got PC and Xbox together playing the Gears of War games, and now PlayStation, you have a much wider audience, but less people have been playing it. Why is that? It's you can't say, well, it's an old series and it's been done to death and this and that. So is Resident Evil. Resident Evil's been around for 30 years and everybody's going crazy for it. Right? You got Resident Evil Requiem around the corner. Everybody's going nuts for it. Call of Duty's been around for 20 plus years and everybody's still playing the hell out of that. Battlefield's been around for 20 something years. Everybody's playing the hell out of that. Right? On and on and on. I could list a million different franchises that have been going on for decades or whatever. It's not tired. I think that the way that it's been made has made it tired. And that's all I'm getting at. So what I'm saying is that I implore them, please return to that horror element, the fear, like I said, the anxiety, the survival horror of it all. You're scared to open a door because you don't know what's going to be on the other side. Not just another situation where you go up into an area, you slam yourself against a pole, and then you're going to shoot all the guys that just kind of show up. This had elements of surprise that were terrifying. And that's what they got to get back to make you get really enveloped into this world and into this situation that they found themselves in this Gears of War universe. And that's all I'm trying to say. Bring it back to what it used to be. Either way, those are just some thoughts that I had about where Gears of War needs to get back to. Go back to your roots. That's all I'm asking for E-Day. Anyways, I want to know what you guys think about that. Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe. We'll talk to y'all later. Stay magnificent.